Here's a 2-year owner history of a 2018 Mercedes G550 with the 4-liter bi-turbo V8. And in this video, I'm going to answer the common questions like, what does it cost to maintain one of these things? Is it reliable? What kind of fuel economy do you get? Especially with one like this one has a 2-inch lift and 33s. I'll talk about that 2015, the white one here, in just a little bit. So if you're shopping for a G-Wagon, or maybe you have one and you just love this content, I'm really glad to have you here. Welcome or welcome back. My name is Adam. And I just want to say thank you to all of you who've been tuned in. You've been asking for more G content. It's been a little bit. Life and business has been incredibly busy. And you know, we all go through seasons in our life. My seasons have changed. You might notice an adventure van back there. And it's a season of, 2 aging dogs and less time for four-wheeling, which is why I built the 2015. So anyway, let's get into today's update on this vehicle. But first, I just want to do a quick walk around. I've done a full build tour of this truck. It's a 2018 limited edition. There was 463 of these made. And this limited edition was a send-off to the W463 platform in 2018 before the 463A in 2019. So with this limited edition, you have limited edition paint. We have a 2-inch lift, jack wagon overlanding springs, Coney Raid shocks. We've got Alpha equipped wheels and 33 by 1250 Mickey Thompson Baja Boss AT. These are by far my favorite, not only AT tire, favorite tire I've ever run. The limited edition, which is really neat, I think only 100 of these made it into the USA. You know, you've got a limited edition stamp on the door sill, an Alcantara headliner. And we'll get in here and I'll start touring you around and answering some of the common questions that you get. But you even see here on the center console, the limited edition one of 463, if you can see that. You got the AMG accents. And this thing is just a joy to drive. And compared to the 2015, which has the 5.5 liter V8, I'll compare these in just a minute. But this vehicle has 61,000 miles. It was a 2-owner, very, very well-maintained vehicle. And I just want to answer the question on fuel economy. Because people are like, oh, what kind of fuel economy do you get? So I'll just show you real world right now. So we have had this since from reset. The last 14,000 miles that we've driven, averaging 14.2 miles a gallon. And that is, again, with a 2-inch lift and 33s and mixed use. So I have done some towing with this. In fact, there's I've towed my side-by-side on a trailer, which is the extent of it, a handful of times. And there is some off-roading miles for both camping trips. And when we got this vehicle, while it was stock, we ran the world-famous Imogene Pass, and however you pronounce it, you can correct me in the comments below. So there's the first question. What kind of fuel economy do you get? There you go, 14.2 overall. Could you get a little better? Possibly. Where I drive most, if you can't tell, is up in the mountains. We do a fair bit of highway driving. But overall, this thing's been great. Now, let's talk maintenance. What has this thing needed in 14,000 miles? I'm going to list it all right now. Number one, coolant was low. And it was only mildly low, so we ran a whole set of tests. Turns out it was fine. We topped off the coolant, no big deal. There can be, and please correct me, I'm not a mechanic, so to all my mechanic friends, drop a comment. That's why I've done a lot of videos with Joe from Nothing But G's, the channel, because he's the G-Wagon specialist. Both vehicles have been exclusively serviced and built by Joe over at Alliance Auto Care with Nothing But G's. But anyway, so coolant. Topped off, no problem. It was a couple $100 just to double check and do a service check. Next, let's see, what else did we end up doing? Nothing. Nothing except basic service, and I will talk about what that costs. So the service, I think it's service B, the 50,000 mile service on this is not cheap. It was about, gosh, I want to say 14 to 1700. I can't remember the exact number. But what that includes is front and rear differentials, transfer case, transmission, oil change, filters, etc. So it is a bigger service. And again, that's not a super, you're not doing that service all the time. Outside of that, this thing has been very, very, very easy to maintain. Oh, one other thing, chip in the windshield. We were driving to New Mexico. We watched it happen. This car picked up a rock and shot it over, and I got the chip repaired. I can't even see where it was. It was somewhere over here. but these windshields are obviously just straight up and down and are very prone to rock chips. They're very expensive because they are heated windshields. So you can see there's heat coils in them. Outside of that, we haven't done anything to it in 14,000 miles. Now, the cool thing when you are shopping for a G, which I did another video on like what to look for and all that, especially when looking through a Carfax report, this had no like major repeated service issues. And you'll see when you start looking through these Gs that they just don't have it. Whereas if you've looked at Land Rover, and I know I looked at an LR4 and you'll see timing chain and excuse me, I think, was it timing something? Anyway, you'll see electrical issues and the same things kind of coming up over and over again. But the one common thing, and this is on this vehicle, this little seat piece cracks. It's very common. You'll see this on a lot of new vehicles under warranty replaced, and it is a relatively inexpensive part. The white truck here did not have that crack. But anyway, so that is one thing just to be mindful of when you look through one. Now, other than that, let's talk like livability. Livability, there's a few things that are worth noting, and I'm actually going to be doing another video on this. But, and I've shared this in some previous videos. There's really no place to put anything. So you've got your one cup holder down here. Cell phone, what I usually do, and I'm filming on my phone, but I'll usually set mine between the handbrake and the center console, and it'll stay put. So that's my preferred place to keep my cell phone. The other thing that's kind of curious is there's nowhere to put sunglasses up here. Like there's just nothing at all for storage. So in terms of usability, day to day, they are less practical vehicles, which I'll talk about in a minute. But the creature comforts, even driving passengers, the rear seats are also heated. In terms of comfort, here's the interesting thing. A lot of people complain about the comfort in these vehicles. And I'll be honest with you, I go back and forth. There's times like the white one, my 2015, which teaser is actually going to be available for purchase very soon. There's a reason for this, and I'll share. By the way, we're not getting rid of that G. This one is coming up because of some lifestyle changes, which I'll talk about here at the end. But I drove this vehicle all the way down to Texas, 12 hours straight, nonstop. And the reason I went down there is actually to hang out with Jack Wagon Overlanding when I filmed those videos, and to get this bumper. And I was blown away because these seats in the Gs are very upright, and I was like, oh, you know, you first get in them. I didn't like them that much. I thought they needed to be a little softer. I thought that I don't know, they feel like a bench. And then I drove 12 hours and I got out and I was totally fine. In fact, on this white one, I drove from where I live in Colorado out to Moab, Utah, 6 hours, straight there, wheeled for 3 hours, and then finished up and went out wheeling the next day, and I was totally fine. I also did the trifecta in Moab, which was about 9 hours in the vehicle. And I was a little stiff at the end, but the seats are like, it's like you're really dialed or you're not dialed. So they do take some playing with to get right. And I will share, there is one thing that is very common that breaks on these Gs, which has not happened on this one. I expect it will at some point. But I did, when I purchased this vehicle, which I'll talk about in another video, the dealer, I had them test that, and it was broken. So there's a pneumatic pump that runs these seat controls, which are right here. And you have quite a lot. This will extend the bolster. My wife and I call them the pinchers. So that's really nice for off-road. That's your lateral support will pinch in, and they hold you in place when you're off-roading. And then you've got two lumbar, upper and lower. So high and low lumbar support there. So other than that, livability, you have some sacrifice in terms of space. You have some sacrifice in terms of like where you store things. But I will say, and people have emailed me asking, you know, what do you think? Do you go with the older G500 or G550, the 5-liter, the 5.5 liter, both naturally aspirated, or the 4-liter? By the way, I'm talking the non-AMG variants. I gotta say, the 4-liter, if you're just gonna daily it, like it's more responsive, it's fun to drive, it is zippy, the low end torque is phenomenal, and this thing has like no turbo lag. It's freaking awesome. The 5.5 liter V8 that's in the 2015 is louder, more raw feeling. The sound is just beautiful, especially with that MBRP exhaust, which I did have on this truck, and it was far quieter, by the way, on this turboed vehicle. But for overall daily use, this is the one. Now, final things to note is on the tailgate, and this is different between these two trucks. Just I forget the name of the company, 911 or something, does this mount because the factory G-Wagon spare tire mount faces in, and this faces out. But in high wind, so tailgate, and to my American friends here, this opens up obviously curbside, and the one thing that is a little annoying is if in real high wind, this will close on you. But what I will say, these trunks are massive, like absolutely massive. And I just ran an event for business, and we drove this vehicle down. I had this thing filled to the brim. Even though it's small, the amount of usability and the ability, sorry for all the dog hair, I have 2 dogs, to stack things on the sides is fantastic, and the height goes up. But I do have a complaint. When these seats fold down, it really doesn't open up that much room. And when they fold and tumble, then the front seats need to push up. And like, I'm a short person and it's too tight for me. So big trunk space, if you're looking to like really haul with it, you're gonna want something bigger. But if you're just like, hey, I need to throw some stuff in the trunk, you can go all the way up. The height is massive, 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 which is why in my, the white 2015, which I'm gonna show you the comparison now, this has 2 things. One, the AFN bumper, which I've done a tour on, which is a steel bumper, but you'll see this arm, this is where all the load of this 35-inch spare tire goes. But what happens is when this is open, and I'll see if I can get a shot down here. When this is open, all the load is on this tire. So when I'm like out hiking with my dogs, this stays open even in wind. That load is off there. Now the other thing, and this is a mess inside, it's getting cleaned up because this is coming for sale, and I'll explain why in a moment. But I pulled their seats out. Joe at Alliance Auto Care is putting those back in for me and doing the final thing, which this needs an oil change. Everything else, this was a one-owner vehicle before me, all dealer service. Joe did absolutely everything. This has been, even though I've used it and I've wheeled it, like it is, everything has been cared for meticulously. And you can ask Joe. I have every service record down to like fixing a rear wiper that didn't work. Like all the things have been taken care of. But anyway, the reason people have been giving me a hard time, dude, you're the G-wheeling guy. You love G's. I do. And our phases of life change. And I pulled the seats, by the way, those were on the back of my seats. I'm just kind of getting ready to get this all unloaded. But I pulled the seats because I've been hauling things, from having to go to our recycle center and loading up a bunch of boxes. I'll put my bike back there because I love mountain biking. And I'm in a chapter in my life right now where I originally built this truck to wheel. Oh my gosh, you can't, unless you want a portal build, you're not gonna set up something as nice as this. You're just not. And I'm at a chapter in my life after building up this beautiful vehicle that I don't need something like this. I actually need to be in a truck for, we've got our van and we've got 2 Gs. This thing, I absolutely, like, Sheena was like, that's my wife, she's like, pry it out of my dead lifeless fingers. That thing's not going anywhere. But sadly, and I freaking love this truck, it is gonna be for sale. I'm asking $100,000 for it. I'll break all that down. I've done a build video. I'll do a new video once this is all cleaned up, seats are in, and it's ready to go. It needs an oil change, and then it's turnkey and ready to rock. So if you're interested, email adam@gwheelin.com. I'll put you at the top of the list. And anyway, so that's that. So there's my owner update on the 2018 G550. These things have been awesome. They're a ton of fun, and I hit all of the cons that you're gonna wanna know about as if you're shopping for one. Overall, if you find one that's been well maintained, well cared for with service records, like both of ours have, and you take care of it and you're comfortable with the fact that yes, parts and maintenance is a little bit more than if you bought a Jeep or a Toyota, but there's literally nothing that drives like a G-Wagon, period. It is raw, it is connected, and there's nothing, there's no other V8s available that feel like a German V8. I love it. And I know these are made in Austria, I know that. So I hope this answers your questions. If you have others, leave a comment below. I'll be happy to respond to as many as I can, and then pop in and maybe do an update. If you have any questions, again, about that truck and you want to be the proud owner of the new G-Wheeler, or of the G-Wheeler, just email adam@gwheeling.com. Appreciate you. We'll see you soon.